Yo! What's good, how y'all doing? Well, anyways, welcome to my poorly made series called Comparing and Seeing Which Animal Would Not Only Survive, but Also Thrive in Certain Ecosystems, and explaining them in Minecraft. In our first matchup for this series, we got the fearsome Albertosaurus sarcophagus from the Tyrannosauridae family against the slashing predator of the Jurassic period, Allosaurus Fragilis. In today's setting we have modern-day Africa, known to be a harsh environment to survive as an animal. We'll approach this face-off by first looking at the stats of the certain animal, and we'll rate it on how well they handle the chosen ecosystem. We'll rate it in 3 categories, that is, environment, food menu, and their way of handling competition. But before we get into the categories, let's introduce these animals first. Albertosaurus is a genus of large tyrannosaurid theropod dinosaur that lived in northwestern North America during the early to middle Maastrichtian age of the late Cretaceous period, about 71 million years ago. The type species, A. sarcophagus, was apparently restricted in range to the modern-day Canadian province of Alberta, after which the genus is named, although an indeterminate species, Albertosaurus, has been discovered in the Corral de Enmedio and Packard formations of Mexico. Scientists disagree on the content of the genus, and some recognize Gorgosaurus libratus as a second species. Allosaurus fragilis was a massive apex predator of the late Jurassic period, roughly 150 million years ago. Known as the lion of the Jurassic, this bipedal theropod grew up to 8.5 to 10 meters in length. It is celebrated for its lightweight, robust skull lined with serrated teeth used to hunt large herbivorous dinosaurs. It is the most common and best-known species of the Allosaurus genus. It was first discovered in 1877 and is the official state fossil of Utah. The species name, fragilis, Latin for fragile, refers to the lightweight, hourglass construction of its vertebrae, which helped the massive animal remain agile without losing structural strength. Now that we've explained what these two are, let's rate them first in the first category, environment. In this category, we will find out on how the two large theropods handle the harsh environment of modern-day Africa. Modern Africa hosts about 1/4 of the world's mammal and bird species, featuring an unmatched diversity of megafauna. The continent supports extensive populations of large herbivores and apex predators ranging freely across savannas, jungles, and deserts. But for this video, we will put these two theropods in the savanna only, or the video might be a little much more longer. Now that we know what the environment is like, let's put these two species to the test. Albertosaurus. Based on fossil evidence, it's highly clear that they live their life in a lush, highly vegetated, semi-tropical environment. With this information, it's unlikely that they'll be comfortable living in the savannas, because it's very different compared to the environment they lived in millions of years ago. Now, let's also find out on how the Allosaurus fragilis will handle the environment of modern-day Africa. Allosaurus fragilis, based on fossil evidence, lived in semi-arid floodplains where the area is pretty open just like the savanna, but cooler, so it's almost gonna be like home for them when hunting. Now that we got that out of the way, let's rate them. Allosaurus gets 7 out of 10, while Albertosaurus gets 5/10 based on how they will likely handle the environment. On to the next category, food menu. On this part we will determine if the prey menu in the savannas of modern-day Africa are enough for these giant predators. For Allosaurus fragilis, based on fossil evidence, hunted large slow-moving but dangerous sauropods, although it most likely hunted juveniles or sick individuals. It also hunted one of the most iconic dinosaurs, which is the Stegosaurus, but preferred sauropods since fighting a Stegosaurus would be too risky considering its weapons are lethal. On the savannas, Allosaurus would most likely hunt the African elephant. These heavyweights would absolutely fit the diet of the giant theropod, but it wouldn't hesitate to chomp other animals fit for its daily meal also. Now, Let's take a look on the fearsome Albertosaurus sarcophagus. This giant theropod hunted hadrosaurs weighing around 4,000 kilograms, or 4 tons, so it would likely hunt the African elephant also, and other animals around the same weight like rhinos and hippos. Now I wouldn't rate them immediately, as we also need to know about the food menu of the subadults of each theropod. Let's start with the Allosaurus first. Subadult Allosaurus would likely hunt warthogs, wildebeests, and other similar-sized animals, like an ostrich, considering subadult Allosauruses weigh around 700 kilograms to 1,000 kilograms. It would have no problem hunting these animals. Now, since the subadult Albertosaurus has similar weight as the subadults of the Allosaurus species, they would likely hunt the same animals, so both of these animals gets a rating of 10 out of 10 in food menu. Now that we covered those categories, let's analyze the last one. Let's take a look at both of the creatures' ability to handle competition. First off, the disadvantages. Let's take a look at some of the predators that would likely keep a check on these giant theropods' population. Large felines, wild dogs, and hyenas. These animals wouldn't actually win against the adult Albertosaurs and Allosaurs, but they would dominate against juvenile and subadult ones. Let's start with felines. Leopards, lions, and cheetahs wouldn't hesitate to kill juvenile theropods, as a juvenile Albertosaurus and an Allosaurus cannot win a fight against one of them, let alone a pride of lions. If one juvenile wanders alone, it would likely meet its end by predators of the modern era. While subadults can actually defend itself against a cheetah, a leopard, or against one lion, a pride of lions would not only make them back away, but would absolutely destroy them in a fight. Hyenas and wild dogs. These two animals might actually be the best one of keeping the two giant theropods' populations in check. Because of their high numbers, lone juveniles, subadults, and even full-grown adults would likely back off from a fight against them due to their very high numbers when hunting or even scavenging. Now that we covered their disadvantages, we can't forget about mentioning the advantages of each theropod also. First off, Allosaurus Fragilis, average adult weights are about 1.5 to 2.3 tons, which will become the largest predators in the savanna, so it wouldn't be a huge problem for them hunting adult buffaloes, giraffes, hippos, and rhinos. Oh, you asked about their hunting styles? Allosaurus's hunting style is biting of a chunk of their prey because of their very sharp teeth and fast slashing jaw, so it could definitely tear of a chunk in like an elephant's leg to wear it down, like hit and run, so they actually don't need to kill their prey on spot in order to get a meal. It can also wait for the bitten animal to die off infection, or by bleeding, and thus making it have a big feast. And that would be an advantage, as it could prevent them from having severe injuries from a face-off against a similar-sized animal. Another thing, because of its size, it would have no problem scaring off another predator munching on its kill. Like hyenas that scare away cheetahs to steal its own kill, there's no doubt a 2-ton allosaur would absolutely do the same thing. So scavenging is gonna be a chill job for them. Now that we cover the advantages of the Allosaurus, let's also cover the advantages of the similar-sized predator, Albertosaurus. Albertosaurus weighing 2 to 2.5 tons, being larger and faster than the Allosaurus, would actually hunt and kill off prey better. Yes, I know it doesn't have the slashing bite that would tear a flesh of animals, but it is equipped with a pretty strong one that would break off bones in just one bite. I'm pretty sure no one is actually surprised that the Albertosaurus can do that, as it is a member of the Tyrannosauridae family. Same as the Allosaurus, the Albertosaurus could also scavenge and steal off kills from other predator to display its dominance, but with a twist. Based on fossil evidence, it is shown that Albertosaurus hunted in packs, so if one Albertosaurus is already pretty dangerous for animals to deal with, then how about 2 or more? Now that we covered it, I think we all know who gets the dub in this category. I rate Allosaurus with 7/10 and Albertosaurus with 10/10. Both of these animals are pretty similar in size, but because of the Albertosaurus genus cooperate in packs based on fossil evidence, it is absolutely a clear edge against the Allosaurus being a lone hunter. The winner of this match, Albertosaurus sarcophagus. This is my first video that I've put great effort in, so if you found it entertaining, leaving a like and subscribing would help me so much in my YouTube career as a small content creator. And if you found some inaccurate information in my video, feel free to correct me in the comments section, and don't forget to recommend next matchups or what to add in the next matchup. Y'all stay safe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.